Here it is, guys. Here it is. We now got Disney out here, apparently kissing Donald Trump's ass and all that. Or yeah, because I could other words, trying to get their they're trying to get their respect from the guy and all that. Despite them trashing on him and all that. I actually want to talk about that. I'm going to be talking about this in this video. If you guys haven't already, please subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell. You guys can also follow me on Instagram and Twitter and all that. And I know I've said in the past I'm not really wanting to talk about politics and all that much. I'm still kind of like that, but I actually do have two politic videos planned. This is one of them. And like I said, I don't really care about politics much. I know it seems like I do, but I'm more so just throwing my opinion out here at this stuff. So if you guys don't know, Disney, and not just Disney, tons of other companies, in Hollywood and probably in general, have, been shit-talking about Trump and all that, They've been shit-talking, about Trump and, what a horrible person he is and all that, and if you vote for him, you're a horrible person and this and that. And, and despite that, even though there was clearly stuff going on, when the last president, when Biden was in office, there were some problems going on there, which I actually do want to talk about. I'm going to be talking about that, in another video, because, there was some stuff going on, they were censoring stuff and all that, Clearly, there's been some shady shit going on in Hollywood, especially Disney. Disney, out of all the companies in Hollywood, and I mean all of them. I mean, the other ones have political problems too, but Disney is very bad at this shit. They are very bad. They've gone out there and they try to control their employees and tell them what they can and can't follow. There was actually people coming out and saying, apparently, I guess, when Iger was in there and all that, and a woman was this woman was not supposed, shouldn't be, shit-talking people and all that, but what he said to her and all that was about, he doesn't want her being on Twitter and all, or following Twitter and all that, and I'm like, the way he was saying it and all that, clearly there was some problems there, and it's not just this. It's shit in general, and it's just been getting way out of hand. I mean, studios have been doing this too. They've been bad with this too. But yeah, like I said, Disney's been the worst. I mean, Disney's even going out there and we have Warner Brothers and Paramount and all that have race swapped characters, or change their appearance to appeal to a certain demographic and all that, but still they still have not been as bad as Disney with this. And I mean, even Disney is when they bought out Fox, you guys know when they bought out Fox, the whole thing about they were doing this whole Black Lives Matter bullshit, where they were trying to make it where people can only be voiced by a certain skin color. They did this with Chinese people too and all that. But then in their live action, movies, they do the whole opposite, which doesn't make any sense. I still don't like Snow White, Snow White Tinkerbell, and you got Snow White Tinkerbell, and even Pinocchio had apparently this, fairy, in the movie and all that. I think she's a fairy. I would say she's a fairy. I haven't seen Pinocchio, but I do know, like, there's a magical being. She turns Pinocchio into a live action, not live action. She turns him into a real boy and all that. Yeah, they did that there too. So I'm just like, they've been really bad with this shit. They've been very bad with it. And I mean, hell, they even gone out and like have shit on people who like Gianna Carano and all that, and all that, for people voting for this guy and all. That and all that, or even having opinions, like, and they're not even that salty, So clearly there's been some shit going on. And like I said, they're not the only ones in Hollywood doing this, but I'm just saying Disney's probably the worst of them. But that said, though, because now Donald Trump is the president again, we got, like, people like Bob Iger out here and other people in Hollywood kissing his ass now. Like I said, they're kissing his ass because he's the president now and all that, and all, like, they went and shit talked him and all that, which, I don't know, there's some weird shit going on here because, if you guys, been following Hollywood and all that and the shit they've been saying and all that, you know that they've been doing this for a while, and I don't understand why they're suddenly kissing his ass because Trump, was president before, and they shit on him before. They did. There were, like, so many, things out there and all that on, in the, movies and all that would shit on him and make fun of him, There'd be all this kind of stuff, And, I don't know. I just think that it's kind of weird that, he's the president again, and then they're suddenly all nice about it. My guess is maybe Trump, was out, like, probably was trying to sue a lot of people. He is out there suing, I actually was going to make a video about this, but kind of didn't get around to doing it, but there was I think it was NSC or Universal's, a news outlet and all that, he was going to sue them. I think even Paramount's getting sued too, he's getting sued too, and all. They're getting sued as well, which Paramount's not a good thing, because Paramount has actually been struggling really bad. There was some ridiculous amount of numbers, like of what Trump was charging or something, which I'm just like I don't know. Yeah, I get when you lie to someone, there will be consequences, but like, I don't know. Consider that most of these outlets have done this shit. If you're gonna sue all these, companies and all, then you're pretty much going to be putting them all out of a job, pretty much, which, yeah, a lot of people in these companies are shitty people, but not everybody who works for them is bad, but there is a handful of them that are, especially in the news side of things. That said, though, I think what's going on here is, I think Iger is panicking. Iger is having a panic attack, because the Walt Disney Company is losing money. They're getting into debt. They actually are in debt. I've talked about this before. They're in debt because between them overspending on shit like Fox, and then not just Fox, but like they bought out Hulu, and now they're buying out Fubo TV. Well, not all Fubo TV, but they're buying out a bunch of it. They're spending all this money on they're spending all this money on, Disney Plus and all that, which I think they need to just shut Disney Plus down and just go back to, they need to go back to, like, putting their shit on Netflix and all that again. Like, they need to do that. Like, I'm not saying that they can't do this stuff. The problem is, though, is Disney's Disney doesn't have the capability of, doing this kind of stuff. They're not good at streaming and all. They need to just shut it down and all that and just, like, go back to Netflix, because they've tried to be something else before. They tried to be a gaming company before. That failed. They actually tried to, be YouTube. That failed too, And Iger is in here just fucking spinning like crazy here and all that. Chapek was the same way. A lot of the movies were getting very expensive and all that, but, like, Iger is back, and they've been spending a lot of money on shit and all that. Iger, Iger is just like, the thing is that Iger, he's known for being a money guy. He's like Chapek. He's basically, a money person. But I think Chapek was more so like, Chapek wasn't wanting to, I don't think, own everything. Iger wants to be the next fucking empire, is what Iger wants to be. He wants Disney to be the next empire, and he's out there acquiring shit and all that, and it's causing the company to collapse. It's not good. Like, it is bad. Like it is really bad. And now that President Trump is back, in office, I think they're worried about getting their asses sued. And all that, because they've been, this ABC News, they were the ones who had Trump and all that. I think it was CNN that had, I believe CNN had, Trump and Biden, I think they did, but Trump and Kamala Harris were definitely in the, debates and all that. They were in the debates and all that, in the, in ABC, Family, and ABC News. Because ABC Family and ABC News are a bit different. But that's the problem, though, they would go out there and, shit talk, on Trump and all that, and, in the debates, they were asking him all these questions, but not questioning, Kamala Harris. Because I know Kamala Harris was out there saying, shit like, how he basically has damaged his country and all that, and how the economy is much better under under Biden than it was ever under Trump and all that, which was absolutely not true. Because if you look a lot of people think that, but trust me, if you look around your surroundings and you go buy stuff at the store, then you'll see this stuff, that you'll see that, a lot of this stuff was getting expensive and all that, and a lot of these businesses were going out of business. And Trump's, back in, office and all that, and I think we're going to have similar problems, because, Trump's a guy that I don't think necessarily thinks things through very well. I think he has some good ideas, but, for me, I think, he doesn't think things through, yes, I think the whole tariff thing, a tariff thing and all that, that basically, I think that was a thing, that should be, need to be fixed, because, we're getting too much stuff outside the country. It's costing us too much money. We're losing, stuff and all that. Because, when COVID-19 hit, and we got locked in our houses, which I think was another thing he did. I still think he should have probably, he did that, but didn't have, a backup plan. To be fair, that was kind of thrown out of nowhere, so that wasn't all his fault there. But yeah, I think he should have handled COVID a lot better. But Trump, and all that, has been doing this stuff and all that, but which is the tariffs are probably going to mess up a little bit of stuff here. But I don't think it's going to be. I don't think it's going to be that bad. I think it's going to be a problem for a while, but I don't think it's going to completely destroy the country. It might cause a lot of jobs to go out of business, because of this, but it's still not like it's not like, I don't think it's going to be like COVID and all that, where it's going to cause a lot of businesses to go out. Some businesses are actually coming back. They're coming back from the dead, so I don't know. We're gonna have to see what's gonna happen there. But again, Kamala Harris saying, not just her, but her basically saying, that Trump, everything under him was bad and all that, and then you got ABC News backing her up and all that, but have no problem, shit talking on Trump and all. That's not okay. That's just it's not okay, but I don't know. But there's definitely something going on though with if Iger is going here and all. I think Iger knows that they're in deep shit, and I think a lot of this has to do with something with the Gianna Carano situation. Gianna Carano, She basically, is with Elon Musk right now and trying to sue Disney for screwing her over, because they screwed her over. I mean, it ain't the only people they've screwed over. I mean, they screwed over a shit ton of people. But Disney, is getting to the point where, like, they're not being trusted anymore. It's been like that for a while, but each year passes, Disney is getting more and more questionable. People are questioning what Disney's doing, and all that. And that's because people like her are coming out and saying, all that Disney's doing, this or that, and has screwed over people like her, and which is true. I mean, there's people who've lost lawsuits because of them. But I'm like, that's the thing though. If they're losing lawsuits, but that's the thing though. Disney's winning the lawsuits. Other people are losing it. But that's the thing though. It's coming out where people are coming out of the company, and yeah, they lose the lawsuits, but it's making people realize that. Like, it's making people realize they're not this great company that people once thought they were. They're not, and that's the problem. And, especially with politics and all that, yeah, that's not very good, and... But I'm just looking at this, like I'm just looking, at this, whole thing, and I'm just like, yeah, I feel like that's why, because Iger's even with, I think he's even trying to be friend to Elon Musk too and all that, which is very funny because Elon Musk told Iger to go fuck himself, and all that, and honestly, I don't know much about Elon Musk, I know there's people who come out who are like moving away from Twitter and all, going to this Blue Sky platform and all that, which, I don't know, I'm just like, they're going away from it, I think, to be, to get away from the drama and all that, but still, I don't know, it feels more like they're doing it because of Elon Musk, but I don't know, I have actually a video wanting to talk about that in the future too, because I want to talk about that. But, yeah, basically though, Elon Musk, though, has having a lawsuit, like helping, Gianna Carano with a lawsuit. So I think Iger's trying to come out here and, trying to fix it. I actually hope they lose this fucking lawsuit, because this is ridiculous. They should not be doing this, and I think the only reason why they're doing all this shit, again, because Trump's in office, and Trump is friends of Elon Musk. They're both friends, and like I said, there's that whole lawsuit going on with the political shit, and then Trump's coming out here suing people. There's definitely some shit going on. There's some shit going on and all that, and I think this is gonna. I don't know how this is gonna go. They could end up like. The lawsuit could get dropped. It could get dropped, but the problem is though is like, if it gets dropped, I'm like, are they gonna be able to get away with the shit they've been doing? Because. Well, number one, people are opening their eyes and realizing what the shit they've been doing and that it's wrong, and people are looking at like these situations people have been getting in because of political stuff and all that, and I'm just like looking at this and being like, well, I'm like, yeah, there's nothing wrong with the way you vote as long as you're being respectful, but when you're going out there, shitting on people and firing them for fucking stupid shit, that they didn't even do, especially when some of your employees have done way worse, then you have a problem. You have a problem, but I don't know. I think there's definitely some stuff going on, but there's definitely some weird shit going on with Disney and all that, but I don't know. It's just kind of strange. And the thing is, too, with the whole lawsuit thing, I was going to talk about the other thing with it. Even if they drop it, like, are they going to be even allowed to, like, do certain stuff at all? Because, like, is it going to make it look like they're being bad? Or are they going to be threatened? I don't know what's going to happen. Because Disney's starting to lose lawsuits. They were going and winning these lawsuits once upon a time, but now they're losing them. And I think it's because they're running out of money. People are starting to realize, what a selfish company, they are. And I think they're just losing lawsuits. Because out of all the studios, Disney was the one that had, the way at winning lawsuits. They had like a little magic wand, and they made the lawsuits go away, And by magic, I mean money. They had all their little money and all that. Now they don't have any money anymore. Yeah, I think there's going to be some changes here and all that, but I don't know. I just wish Disney could stop fucking being political and all that and just go back to making good shit again, Well, that's the problem. I need to go back and make good stuff again. Stop trying to, appeal to a certain demographic. Speaking of which, I think I'm gonna go ahead and just add this one into the video too. I need to probably start making them separated, but I'm just I don't have a lot to say about this. But speaking of political stuff, I want to come out and say this, that there's actually that I don't know, is a Lilo and Stitch live action movie out? Yeah, I don't know if it's out or not. I don't know. I haven't really seen any, any trailers of it being in theaters or something, but basically what happened is Lilo and Stitch, speaking of political stuff, they basically are Disney's out here trying to they're trying to have this thing and all that where before that they were going with trying to make gay and all that and trying to make not just gay but lesbians and all that. They were trying to make all these LGBTQ stuff in their films and shows. Now I don't know, it looks like they might be walking it back. Now this one's something I don't really know about. I was just it could be just they were trying to stay cheaper, but having a CGI, character wearing and cross-dressing could be a little bit harder when you don't have the biggest budget. But what I've heard though is that one of the aliens from Lilo and Stitch is not going to have cross-dressing anymore in it. That's what I've heard. Now I wasn't sure if that would be true or not. I was kind of waiting until the film came out, but yeah, I think that's going to be kind of a problem too. Like I said, you can't please anybody, especially when you're doing politics stuff. Just again, make good shit. People don't like it, they don't like it, but yeah, some people are out there saying, I've seen on Facebook and Instagram, people are saying oh, we don't want these kids to be spoiled, not spoiled, these kids be, blinded by this stuff or this or that, and I'm just so are you saying you want your kids to be locked away in a damn house all the time? Because eventually they're gonna be fucking exposed to it. You can't escape gay, lesbians and this and that. It's okay. It's okay for the kids to be with this. It's just fucking stupid. It really is. And I'm just and that's the problem though. I'm if they're gonna be doing this shit, again, are they gonna be going back and censoring all their other shit too? I'm just I don't know. I'm just there's some stuff gonna be going down here, and I don't think it's gonna be the way people are wanting it. The thing is though, with the LGBTQ stuff, I have nothing wrong with it being in films and shows and all that, as long as it's not shoved down your damn throat. They don't need it in every damn show and movie. We don't need it we don't need to race swap a character or change a character's personality to do something. It's like Scooby-Doo. They did this with Velma. They turned her into a lesbian, even though she wasn't a lesbian beforehand, but they turned her into a lesbian, and she was known to be the dorky chick and all that who liked books and all that. She was she was more of not a dork. I should say a nerd. She was more of a nerd. I guess, are dorks and nerds the same thing? I don't know. I never really heard people call people that when I was in school and all that, but I do nerds are ones who books and all that, But the thing is though that's what she was known for, but then they started kind of changing her to being this lesbian character and all that, and that's kind of where I started kind of just being okay, I feel that's very unnecessary, It could work at times, if you want to give the characters more personality. Because I mean, Scooby-Doo, like with Fred and Daphne, like they were just kind of generic characters beforehand, but then they started giving them more personality and actually made them love interests, and that's fine, that's okay, but like some of this stuff just feels very unnecessary, and that's what I'm talking about. Like, again, I have nothing wrong with this stuff. In films or movies, kids are going to be exposed to it. You can't stop that, and I'm just like, it's just ridiculous. Like, the whole thing is just ridiculous, Hell, when Lilo and Stitch first came out, people weren't going out there bitching about it. Well, I guess to be fair, the internet was kind of a bit smaller then, but even years afterwards, like, I've heard people review the films, never had a problem with it, and now, because we live in a different time, people have problems with it. I don't know, but I just think it's going to create more drama. Like I said, Disney needs to just make good stuff again, And I don't think this has to do anything with Trump. I think this is just like Disney trying to follow a certain audience. And I mean, yeah, you're going to make money, on your stuff, but censoring this shit and getting rid of it, you don't want to do that. Yeah, you don't want to do that, Just like, again, just make your own stuff. Like, I mean, make good stuff, like good storytelling and all that. Like, you don't need to, like, change something because of a certain demographic, like, I don't know, but that's pretty much kind of why I brought it up in this video, because there's just not a lot to say about it, and personally, I figure I'm talking about Trump and Disney here and all, so I figured I'd bring that up, but yeah, I definitely don't think this is why they're changing it. I think they're just changing it because, again, they're losing money and want to, like, appeal to a certain demographic. In the past, I was thinking maybe it could have been that, but then I'm, like, looking back at, in the last year, they've been doing this stuff. Even Inside Out 2, they changed it, but I don't know. But I think they're definitely going to be doubling and tripling down on this stuff, because, again, most of their audience, I think, probably voted for Trump, But again, like I said, I don't think Trump's got anything to do with this, because I think people are like thinking Trump's going to ban this stuff and all that, and I don't think he's going to ban it. Sure, he can be kind of a bit of a, I don't know, like a grumpy, guy and all that, especially somebody who bashes, like, other countries at times. I've heard about that with some of his speeches, but, like, I don't think he would go out of his way to do that, I think that's just kind of a bit too far, but that said, though, that's all I have to say here. But yeah, I'm kind of getting to the point where I'm getting kind of sick of talking about this stuff, but I kind of want to also throw my opinion out here, because I want to have, I want to kind of throw some of my, opinions out with this stuff that's been going on for the last, I don't know, like at least the last decade or so, and how it's been kind of escalating and getting worse, but I don't know. We'll just have to see where this goes and all that, but yeah, I'm going to go ahead and let things go from here. See you all later. Bye-bye.